Ever have those days, or maybe weeks, where you feel like you're just spinning your wheels? You're busy, for sure, but you're not actually getting anywhere meaningful? Well, what if there was a proven framework to change all that? Today, we're diving into Stephen Covey's masterpiece, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. This is one of the most powerful blueprints ever created for success, both in your work and in your life. Let's get right into it.
Oh man, we've all heard this, right? Maybe not from your grandma, but you know the vibe. The endless complaints about the government, the economy, your boss, the weather. This story just perfectly nails a mindset that is so common. It's a trap we all fall into, and it's called being reactive. And that right there brings us to the absolute foundation of being effective. It all boils down to a fundamental choice we make every single day between two completely different ways of looking at the world, being reactive or being proactive.
This really lays it all out, doesn't it? On one side, you've got reactive people. They pour all their time and energy into what Covey calls their circle of concern, all the stuff they can't actually control. But proactive people, they do the opposite. They focus their energy on their circle of influence, the things they can actually do something about, like their own skills, their attitude, their choices.
And this is our first and honestly the most important habit: be proactive. It's all about taking ownership. It's about realizing that complaining, no matter how good it feels in the moment, is just a total waste of energy. The game-changing shift is to take all that energy and channel it into what you can actually change, right here, right now.
So once you've made that fundamental choice to be proactive, the journey turns inward. The next 3 habits are all about achieving what Covey calls the private victory. This is all about mastering yourself before you can even think about effectively working with other people.
Okay, I want you to try a little thought experiment with me. And stick with me because it's a little morbid, but it is incredibly powerful. Imagine you're at your own funeral. Your family, your friends, your coworkers, they're all there. What do you hope they're saying about you? What kind of person do you want to be remembered as?
And that leads to the really tough question, doesn't it? Are the things you do every single day, are they actually aligned with that person you want to be? I mean, if you want to be remembered as a kind and present father, are you putting your phone away at the dinner table? It's about closing that gap between the person you want to be and the person you are today.
This is the absolute core of Habit 2. Begin with the end in mind. It's about getting crystal clear on your destination before you start the journey. You create a personal mission statement, you define your core values, and suddenly you have a compass that guides every single decision you make.
And look, if you need proof that we need that compass, just look at this. It's kind of brutal when you see it laid out so clearly. We say our relationships and our health are the most important things to us. But then you look at how we actually spend our time, and it's a whole different story, isn't it? That disconnect is where so much of our frustration comes from.
And this is where Habit 3 comes in to save the day. Put first things first. It's about escaping what he calls the tyranny of the urgent. You know, that constant fire drill of emails and notifications that are screaming for your attention. This habit gives you the discipline to say no to the urgent so you can say yes to what's truly deeply important.
Okay, so we've done the internal work. We've achieved that private victory. Now what? Well, now it's time to move outward. The next 3 habits are all about the public victory, which is mastering the art of working and collaborating with other people.
Think about this for a second. We live in a world that so often feels like a giant competition, a zero-sum game, where for me to win, you have to lose. But what if there's a better way? Imagine these 2 authors. Instead of fighting over the same readers, they team up, and suddenly they both win bigger than they ever could have alone.
This is the heart of Habit 4, think win-win. It is a complete and total mindset shift. It's about understanding that life isn't a fixed pie. For you to get a slice, you don't have to take from someone else. You can actually work together to bake a much bigger pie for everybody.
But how do you get to that win-win situation? Well, it starts with understanding what the other person even considers a win. You have to ask yourself this really powerful question. It doesn't matter how hard you worked. What matters is, does this actually help them? And to find that out, you have to practice Habit 5. Seek first to understand, then to be understood. And let me tell you, this one goes against our basic human nature. Most of us don't really listen. We're just waiting for our turn to talk. We're reloading. This habit is about true empathetic listening, not to form a counter-argument, but to genuinely see the world from their point of view.
Okay, so let's use a super simple example to see how this plays out. You've got 2 people. They both want apples from a tree, but neither one of them is tall enough to reach. What are their options? They could give up, they could fight, or
What if one person lifts the other one up onto their shoulders? Boom! Now they can get all the apples they want. That is synergy. It's this beautiful idea that when we cooperate creatively, the result is way bigger and better than what either person could have come up with on their own. It's the magic of synergy. It's not just addition, it's multiplication. It's where 1 plus 1 doesn't equal 2. It equals 3, or 5, or even 100. The combined result is so much greater than the sum of the parts.
And that brings us to habit 6, synergize. This is really the culmination of all the previous habits. When you're proactive, you begin with the end in mind, you think win-win, and you seek first to understand, well, you create the perfect conditions for synergy to happen, where your differences become your greatest strengths.
So, you've mastered the private victory and the public victory. You're all set, right? Not quite. The final habit is the one that keeps all the other habits going. It's the habit of renewal, and it's a lifelong journey. There's this classic story of a guy in the woods just furiously sawing away at a tree. He's sweating, he's exhausted, he's getting nowhere. Someone comes along and says, "Hey, why don't you take a break and sharpen your saw?" And the guy snaps back, "I can't, I'm too busy sawing." It sounds completely ridiculous, right?
And yet, we do this to ourselves all the time, don't we? We're too busy to go to the gym. We're too tired to read. We're too stressed to connect with the people we love. We're essentially trying to cut down a tree with a dull saw and then wondering why it's so hard. It's like trying to build a house without a foundation.
And that brings us to the final, absolutely essential habit. Habit 7, sharpen the saw. This is the habit of self-renewal. It's about consistently taking the time to invest in your greatest asset, you. Physically, mentally, socially, and spiritually. It's what gives you the energy and capacity to live all the other 6 habits.
So from taking radical ownership of your life to continuously investing in your own growth, the 7 habits give us a timeless roadmap. But here's the thing about a roadmap. It's useless unless you actually start the journey. So the real question isn't just what you've learned. The real question is, which brick will you lay first?